Robinson. I live in the suburbs of Detroit, Michigan. I run a business. It's a franchise for a company called TGA Premier Junior Golf, and we teach golf to young kids, mainly elementary school kids, as an after-school enrichment program. And we also run summer camps in the summer at real golf courses. But our after-school programs are held in the gym at the schools. But my first career, my longer career, was as a journalist, and went to the Detroit Free Press in 1985 and was sports editor from 85 to 93, deputy managing editor from 93 to 2007, and decided that when they offered a buyout program to reduce staff, I was supposed to help manage that program, and stunned everybody by taking a buyout myself, and it was just awesome timing because I was able to celebrate a really great career without getting cynical and laying people off, and started a whole new adventure. I mean, they want to be engaged. They want to have fun. They don't want it to be a chore. They want to stay active. We are obviously not just teaching golf. I mean, we're teaching, obviously, the golf skills, but we're also teaching rules and etiquette, and we're teaching character development. And we frankly have some academic lessons. I mean, when we teach kids how to keep score, that's really a lot of math. And when I talk about the Ryder Cup and the U.S. plays Europe, that's an opportunity to get them to name all 7 continents. And, it's a good mix of activities. But, kids are just like anyone else. They want to be engaged and have fun and not be bored. The people I've hired, I think, in both journalism and teaching golf are all people who are not looking at employment as just a job. They're looking at this as more than a job where they're contributing something and helping others. We're trying to give them, we're trying to instill some basic values about honesty and integrity and sportsmanship and just how they treat other people. And I think they respond really well. I mean, I think most people understand that part of any activity is treating your coworkers well, being part of a team. We just try to reinforce that through all kinds of things. From all of our classes, we start with shaking hands at the beginning because that's what you do on the first tee, and you introduce yourself, and shaking hands at the end, and wishing people good luck and congratulations. And, obviously, you have a lot of kids who act out and don't behave real well, but I think, for the most part, people want to learn these things and feel very comfortable in accepting the responsibility to become more like adults. I've got 850 kids in my spring programs. We're just trying to teach these kids a game that they can play for fun, and also some of the academic and character development lessons. So, the ones who are successful are the ones who pay attention, and the ones who are engaged, and the ones who are not acting out and goofing around the whole time. But I'm, again, judging success not necessarily by being, a superstar golfer, but somebody who's just interacting well with the other kids and enjoying themselves. Well, I actually just got an awesome email from a mom whose daughter made the varsity golf team as a freshman at her high school, and she was exposed to it through one of our programs in 4th grade, and 2 siblings were also in our programs. And this mom was just saying about how it really got her started, and she enjoyed, just because of the introduction she got to our program, she pursued it and really enjoyed playing, and that the younger boy is also very focused on golf, but there's a middle child who's hasn't really pursued golf, but also had a really positive feeling about the class and the friendships and the activities. So she saw it as we got him started, and we had kind of opened the door, and that was a total success for that whole family. I've done this for 6 years now, so I do have some kids who who've gone from being, in fourth or fifth grade to all of a sudden being on a high school varsity team. But I also have some high school instructors who become going to college locally and are now like lead instructors, and it's very rewarding to see their growth and have them take on more responsibility. And I also just really love running a business. I mean, I get a lot out of running a business the way I think it should be run and responding really well to customers. And, my customers are certainly the parents, but also the school administrators that we deal with and the golf courses. And I like, not having a boss and not having to go to meetings and being able to just do a common sense way of running a business where I'm treating people well and running good programs. Well, I always thought that the most important thing is being totally transparent and honest with everyone in your organization. And those are, the boss, with your bosses, not being afraid to challenge your bosses, tell them what you think, ask a lot of questions. Same with your peers, and same, of course, with the people who work for you. You've got to be, gather as many facts as you can, understand the business, understand the reality, and learn that from your bosses and challenge them, and then pass it along to your employees. And that's how I've gotten through some very significant crises in the newspaper business, including an application for a joint operating agreement that was 4 years in the making, that was extremely controversial, and a very painful strike and downsizing. And I just think it's really critical to be a trusted communicator. People have to know that you're willing to challenge the bosses and status quo in a respectful way, and that you're going to share information, a lot of information, with everyone in the organization. And if not, they're not going to trust you. I mean, they've got to. They're not going to do good work if they don't trust you. Some of the things I talked about before, being honest, not being afraid to challenge authority, and always sharing information. And that enables you, of course, to always focus on the true mission, which is excellence. I mean, you've got to have really high standards and communicate what those standards are, and make sure that people are focused on excellence in every way, and not use. There's all kinds of excuses for not having excellence, but if people don't think, if people aren't focused on those really high standards, then you just can't have a good organization. I guess the one thing is, I don't think any of this is rocket science. I think you treat people well, and you answer questions honestly. You encourage communication and initiative. You encourage people to not be afraid to challenge authority, and then you encourage people to treat customers the same way they want to be treated.
Wow.